In Need for Speed Payback, there was a mission you can hear the voice of the Cross in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005.
I didn't do nothing, officer! Shut up! Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing? The house wants us to turn up the Eagle Silver 6. If you're not happy, you're damn right I'm not happy. To hell with this. I'm going back to Rockport.
Navarro has caught.
Now people are asking me why I putting in the Iceberg, and most of the people know this game, most of the people know this story. Why I putting even the top of the Iceberg, or why should I put on the Iceberg? Well, there was actually a fun fact about this. The Cross voice actor DIDNT McKenzie actually posted 6 posts that he explained that he wasn't the Cross voice actor in the Payback, but 2 days later he remembered that the voice actor was DIDNT McKenzie of the Need for Speed Payback.
Hey guys, I just got another question again, which I've been asked over and over and over and over again, so I'm going to answer it once and for all, because I did answer the question in the 2 interviews I did with IP Ripper 24 and Craptastic Jack. The question is, was that my voice as a teaser in Payback? Answer is no, it was not my voice. Absolutely not. Come on, guys, you know my voice. 2 video games, you know what I sound like. Did that sound like me? Really? No. Again, Payback. Cross was not in it as a teaser, not in it physically or otherwise, okay? I have not been in a video game in any way, shape, or form since Carbon. All right? I hope that's answered. Again, have a great day. Heat soon.
Hey guys, all right, so I have a statement to kind of make. I was talking with LP Ripper 24, and I took another look at that footage from Payback, and I have to say, guys, that was me in Payback saying I was going back to Rockport. I thought I had heard somebody else doing it, but in listening to the part that was in the game, yes, that was me saying, to hell with this, I'm going back to Rockport. So I am retracting what I said earlier in the video, the interviews, all that. It's me. It was Sergeant Cross, DIDNT McKenzie in Payback. My apologies, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, hi guys, how you doing? Look, for the record, it was me in Payback that said I was going back to Rockport, forget this crap and all that stuff. Look, the reason I didn't think it was me is that I heard a different recording, and it wasn't the recording that was going to be in the game. It wasn't until LP Ripper 24 and I were talking on the phone, he actually sent me a snippet from the game itself, in the game, and played it, and I played it, and it was actually my voice. It was my recording, because I did go to EA Games and record that soundbite a few years back, but I thought they hadn't used it and was using somebody else's voice for whatever. So again, my bad. It was me in the game. I just heard a different recording that wasn't going to be in the game by somebody else. All right, have a good day, guys. Hope that answers that question. See you later.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to apologize again for the screw up. I thought actually, it wasn't me. The recording that I heard wasn't me. It was probably something they played for me to let me know how it would look or how it would sound. But in the game, it is me. And LP Ripper sent me a copy of the exact
scene in the game, and it was my voice. Anyway, the reason that was done is because they couldn't insert me into Payback. There wasn't enough room, but he wanted to put that tagline in as the segue to a Sergeant Cross game, going after you guys, Sergeant Cross doing his things. So that's what it was about, was to start the process of getting a Sergeant Cross game. So giving you that piece of trivia. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
I don't want to explain much more because I know some other people know this video by Shiyud, and 90% or maybe 100% of the people know this video, so I'm just gonna say the first Need for Speed that was publishing by the American and European. Japanese decided to making another first Need for Speed, but only to be in the Skyline, or let's just saying only the Nissan cars in this game. Yeah, you're asking me again, why I putting in the Iceberg. Of course, this is the story, it's not an Easter egg, but who cares actually. In the mission, when you race with Natalia Nova, she do a live stream and racing at the same time. And someone donating only $5 to Natalia Nova, and the donation is a Wolf from TFK.
Oh, thanks for the donation, Wolf TFK. $5 more and I'll sing any song the chat wants. Who's gonna get me there?
How can you concentrate on racing and live streaming at the same time?
Yeah, we all know this. If you want to know what happens when you jump before you want to finish the game, well, nothing changed much more. You're just going to continue until the map is end. But how are you doing that? Well, just doing the Kuro Momento, and that's it. Coca-Cola! When the Christmas and the Payback was released, Need for Speed collaborated with the Coca-Cola Esports, and they decided to making Santa truck in Need for Speed Payback. I don't know what happens when you find the truck, but most likely you're gonna get the license plate backgrounds for free by Coca-Cola. Well, yes, Need for Speed collaborating even for the Hot Wheels, the really biggest brand of the car toys, the mini car toy. You can tuning these cars as a Hot Wheels body kit. And the cars that you tune is a Devil Z, Nissan Skyline, and the Dodge Viper GTS. It's not a much big update, but it's really cool as seems when you see that you can even buying these toys in real life, which is looking really cool. And yes, I'm a big collection of the Hot Wheels and I really love it, and I still collect cars when you can see in those pictures. Plus you can find the traffic cars in the Hot Wheels. In 23 October 2020, Need for Speed Most Wanted was actually really playable because of the amazing mode that people was so shocked. The game called Need for Speed Most Wanted Pepega Edition. Pepega Edition is the mode that everything in this mode is different. New cars, bosses, music, even the Pepe Police. This mode is dedicated by the amazing streamer Kuru HS, who make everything for streaming and videos, to making even the amazing memes that he made with some amazing developers such as DIDNT, who is editor of the Kuru, and the best one, Falafi, who is the best DJ of Java Remix, and other developers that I can't believe in they making so well and successful. This mod was downloading 20k times and most of the people see this page 101k times. I recommended to trying this, play it, and make a really great positivity for this amazing mode. When the Need for Speed Carbon was released, most of the people was really curious how San Juan looked like. You can playing only 2 times, one when you're testing your choose car and one for the tutorial. So many people posting on YouTube that they showing to you how to going to the San Juan and exploring all the San Juan city. But now on you can make easier by Max Howie Need for Speed Carbon Battle Royale. The Battle Royale is legitimate the Need for Speed Carbon that Kenji says in the intro.
This place is a battleground now.
When you're going to the map, there is a new event that you can go easily by teleporting it, and you can exploring yourself. But what about the secret canyon? You need to be on the Kenji's place at the car shop, stay on the bus station, reset the car, and wait until a rival comes to you to having a race with them. Choose the place you want to finish, and there we go. Problem solved. I just trying so many times to go into the secret canyon, but so there is a footage by a YouTuber. If you're doing exactly the same thing in the canyon, then congratulations, because this canyon is scary. The secret canyon, it's really familiar, but still is unfinished canyon. You might be telling me, why is this on the Need for Speed and what canyon is this? Well, the second question, this canyon is exactly the same canyon when you're escaping by the cross again. And this one was never finished because this one was actually for the testing of the Need for Speed Carbon when it was on beta. We not just say it's a secret, but it's really hard to finding this file to exploring. In Underground there is 2 events that was made for the testing. One for the circuit and one for the drift race. Plus there was a one for some kind of like a canyon race. And another one, but it's really big and unfinished. And there is another tracks only for PS2 and GameCube. The first track is the drift race, but really different, and the reverse start. One for secret race, but really buggy and glitching. One for free roam, which is really interesting because you can exploring everything. And one for the drag racing, which is exactly like the original one. If you remember in Need for Speed Carbon, Darius give you the key of the Toyota Supra. In Pro Street, there is an Easter egg that a presenter talking about a missed license plate and a missed car and the color.
Alright, attention down there in the car show area. Everybody listen up. Important announcement. I've got a car, a little blue car now. I can't tell what it is. License plate NFS Carbon. The little blue car, you'll know it's you because it's got the crazy NFS Carbon license plate. You're parked right in front of the Super Promotions tent. Good deal. Now you gotta move it. If you don't move it, somebody's gonna move it for you. Get down there right away, please. Thanks.
This is only just an Easter egg. There is nothing more to explain about it. In Carbon, there is an unfinished car that you can find and play it if you have a mode called Need for Speed Carbon Extra Edition. Just unlock the script, unlock our things, and of course debug cars, and you can finding and playing the ball car. The ball car that you see was supposed to be a Porsche 911 Turbo S. That if you're driving this car in the free roam and you go to the garage and tuning, you can go to the body kit and choose body 1 and you can see a model of the Porsche 911. And this car is one of the fastest car in the Need for Speed Carbon of all time. He drives over the 750 km/h, even 800 km/h if you're using even the nitro, and it's really hard to control it. On the EA by Codemasters, they even announced that the Need for Speed is going to be delayed this year, and they're gonna show us in the next year. Most people was really sad, like me. Most of the people was really frustrating, like me. But most people was really understandably, like Black Panther. Why? Also, the Codemasters, they really make a world-made racing games, and there will not be a problem for developers at all when they concentrating only for the racing games, handling cars and police. I don't really think sure that is going to be police in the next game, because Codemasters make a lot of racing games event. For example, Pro Street, Shift. For my opinion, it might be gonna be interesting because Codemasters, they made the first time of the Need for Speed the biggest racing games in the whole history. If they even making a game with the police, that will be a next level for them. If they not, I'm pretty sure they're gonna making exactly the same style as a Grid or maybe Dirt. The Blacklick 16 called Rogue when he was a boss for a Need for Speed Most Wanted in demo, and even for the first race when you started the game. The story begins with him driving with a Ford Mustang and being the best racer and the best escaper for the police in the Rockport City, only to just be
the most wanted.
The Blacklist 15, when the Rogue was in the game, was not Sonny, it was Razor. Rogue finally racing with Razor, but unfortunately, he lost. And this is why Rogue doesn't have a Mustang anymore and he's driving with a Pontiac GTO. You wanna know why? Well, keep watching and you will see why. In Need for Speed Pro Street, when you go to the Nevada event, there is a secret street on Nevada that you can drive legit clean on off-road. Unfortunately, the car can be more faster in off-road, but still it's something really interesting. Feels like a shortcut. The disappointing game, Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, developers was making only 2 project Most Wanted game, but the one that most of the people know and most of the people they don't know, but I don't believe that most of the people actually they don't know because Grand Theft Auto and Speedy Hall making a video about it. I don't know if it's really necessary to talking about the beta of the Need for Speed 2012, but for my opinion as a gameplay and how actually look like, I think it's really decent. Seems like the beta was not actually finished at all. The map looks like exactly the same with the original one, but the color and the vibing, it reminds me of a really Most Wanted vibe. I think they're ruining everything because of the name himself. Now you might be asking me how to get the beta one. Well, it's really impossible to get it. If you want to play the beta one, you might be need to talking with these 2 person right there, or maybe him, because it might be making some recently the Most Wanted beta game, which it's just trying to testing with other cars and some things. I don't know. The only have to do to get it is really hard and complicated. You have to be really friends with them, and if they let you to playing the game, you can play, but if you can't, well, I'm sorry for you. I can't even get in the game because I'm not being friends with them. But yeah, we're not gonna complain about this. Maybe you got luck or maybe not. Just yeah, you can find on the internet. It's really hard. In Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, if you go into free mode as a police in the beach, you can finding a beach ball that is really heavy. It is really complicated to really pushing the ball that even wants going back. But yeah, what I can say, it's just like I just did it, and I was actually want to testing if the traffic cars can hit the ball, and yeah, they can hit, but it might be just dying because they stop. Yeah, nothing much about it. You can try it too if you have even the original or maybe the remastered one. So yeah, have fun. If you're still a child, or maybe you might be playing some Need for Speed arcades, or maybe you remember about that the Need for Speed making only 3 arcades, which one of them it is Need for Speed GT, which is exactly the same with the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, but in the old version. A one with the Need for Speed Underground, which is really interesting, and one for the Need for Speed Carbon, which is one is really rip-off. All of the 3 arcade games was made by the Global VR, which is of course the people who saving by the EA and Black Box to making an arcade game. Starting now with the Need for Speed GT. The Need for Speed GT is nothing much really interesting. You can play only with the steering wheel and the gear, and of course some acceleration and brakes, and there is exactly the gameplay as a original game Hot Pursuit. In this arcade game you can play only with a normal car, not with the police car as usual. The something big changing is just the HUD and of course the timer that you have to time extension it. Next up, Need for Speed Underground arcade game. This one was really huge. When the game was arrived as an arcade, EA decided to be this game as a really tournament. You know, like One Night Midnight, when they trying to be this game as a really tournament, a really serious esports game for the arcade games, which is really failing. Maybe One Gun Midnight was actually really inspired by the Underground when you see a card that you can actually building and making the career with your own account in the arcade game. Well, more upgraded for the One Gun Midnight, but on the Underground not much more. Get your smart card now and play Global VR player card. Pretty interesting, right? Well, in this arcade game, you were supposed to be minutes to getting a card to playing as a tournament play and to making actually a career in the arcade mode, which of course is not really big arcade. It's not really big different than the original one. It was just like actually racing and keep racing until you're gonna get a really new car if you completed all the arcades, which of course is Nissan Skyline. In this car you was supposed to get in your own car and you can upgrade it whatever you want in your car, just to insert the card. And of course having a race with other players as online or maybe co-op that you can see other people playing, really surprisingly. Play to win? More like pay to win, because of course you have to pay to making your player card, but it was not expensive back in the day, only $100. Plus some fucking coins. In the career mode, you can play 3 exclusive modes such as circuit, drag, and drift. Of course, without the card you can play even the circuit and drag, but not much more in the other locations and places as a drag. Only the drift you was supposed to get in the card to play it. In the arcade, there was only 6 cars in this game, such as Toyota Supra, Nissan 315Z, Mazda RX-7, Mitsubishi Eclipse, Toyota Celica, and of course Nissan Skyline. But if you have the card and you completed the career mode, then you can unlock the Nissan Skyline. The gameplay is a little bit different than the original game. The camera, it's really fixed without to moving when you're crashing the car, and it's pretty weird. A timer, which is of course you have to time extension. And of course something that I might be really love about this arcade, you can drive with 8 players, like even 4 players plus in the arcade game. That's really something that it is a real and a hard race, and much more concentration than of course you have a steering wheel, gears and acceleration, and of course some buttons to change the cameras, and of course pressing the nitro. I'm being so serious, but this arcade game, it's one of the really best arcades of the all Need for Speed arcade games. Unfortunately, you can never finding another arcade like this game in 2021. And then, 2009, here appears Need for Speed Carbon arcade. Well, unfortunately, this game is really a disappointing one. Yes, there are so many cars that you can choose, and yes, they are really interesting to tuning because you can tuning whatever you want, even the rims, even the spoilers, body kits, and visuals. But the gameplay, it's horrible. The HUD changing the blue one into the yellow one. Horrible physics when you hit the fuck out of them. And of course some really bonus thing that the original Need for Speed Carbon didn't have is only bonus race. But if you really want to be curious, well, someone just already help you. By the way, I found something that you might be want to download it if it's really safe. There is a mode that if you want to play in the PC with some HUD in the arcade, you can try it. The difference is that you can tuning and choosing a car whatever you want, but when you go into the gameplay and you want to race, the HUD is really changing even the time and even the cameras. But unfortunately, the players you can doing that because it's really hard to finding in the black box engine. But the link is in the description if you want. Come on. Everyone really loves Need for Speed Most Wanted intro. Who doesn't love it? I like it, but it's not my favorite game. But still, it's really wonderful intro. And no one making an intro like this one. So well made editing, so like action movies, so like cinematic and stuff. So much crown it. But you might be being confusing what actually that car is. Was supposed to be a racer or the police? Well, let's just say it was a bounty hunter. Now most of the people are asking, did this car was the cross? Or maybe it's some kind of like a really bounty hunter? Or maybe it's a cross bounty hunter? We never know that. Or maybe we did. There is nothing much changing with the Corvette, only the visuals. And yes, there are so many versions of the cross. Cross in the Most Wanted as a police, cross in the Most Wanted as a bounty hunter police, and cross as a bounty hunter in the Carbon. But yes, let's consider that this car in the intro was actually a cross, but maybe to be suspicious that is a racer. Underground 2 was most likely a really big map back in the day, but we can find some really hidden places that you can drive off. As usual, people are exploring a lot of things on the Underground 2 that how really big it is. But most likely, and for my opinion, they making big because they want to making decoration. You can see some cities when you're in the, let's just say, canyon. But all of this is making only for the decorations, to looking really good. We understand that you want to be the game even better and even bigger, but come on. They are developers. They are tiny little developers. Well, we're going back to the Carbon Secret Tract in Canyon. Remember that you was doing that trick with the bus station and you was actually want to go to the unfinished canyon or other canyons? Well, if you remember to playing with your console such as PS2 or maybe Wii, anywhere from your old PC, of course you can did it for the first try and sometimes you can going down forever and there is no escaping. Of course you can pause and just jump to the safe house or just closing the game. But you might don't know what happens if you let even 20 minutes to falling down forever. Well, I remember seems like when I was playing to the PS2, I let the game falling forever for like 20 minutes and not gonna lie, even my console was not really so performance back in the day, was actually being so hot and of course it crashed. but really bad. I was trying to fixing my PS2 to see what actually happens, and of course I pay a lot of money out of it. But yeah, when the consoles and of course the really not performance PC was having a big booba, when you're doing the Falling Forever without to jump to the save house or maybe to closing the game, they got a blue screen. I'm trying with my old 10 years old PC gaming, but nothing happens because of course my PC is not really old, it's something really performance a little bit upgrading, and of course I waiting more than 20 minutes and nothing happened. But if you try with the old PC, I suggest you to not doing that. In Pro Street you can see something really weird, and you can find so rare that there is a BMW M3 GTR as a livery of the Most Wanted, but a little bit different. The color is a white with grey, and as a body kit is not exactly like the Most Wanted. I don't know what they're trying to explain those, but I would want to trying to doing some kind of like story in this BMW M3 GTR. Let's just say you have the BMW. You're losing a race with Razer because of course your engine blowing up. I really want to know how that happened. Then you're going back to the race after all the racing you're doing with the blacklist, and of course you get in the car free, but you're having the trouble because of the cross, and you say everyone! Of course you escape because you're living in the cockboard, and of course going to the Carbon City. But guess what? Nope, I'm gonna steal your ass. Then of course you're stuck because that just happened. And then say, sit down. Like, I don't get it. You say you get out of the car and then you say sit down. Like, are you kidding me? And of course Darius coming. And of course Darius saying wrong like a dumbass. Prague. And then Nikki, the big titty, is coming. He wants to beat your ass. And yeah, cross hit your beautiful car. He leaves. You're trying to doing again, but of course the Carbon is really easier than the Most Wanted. I'm the monkey. You beat the Darius. Man, yeah, the kids are on the car. And then you might be asking, where is the BMW? Yeah, look, he's on the Pro Street. Yeah, he just changing, he just a little bit crashing, he just drifting. We see that he only can drift, yeah. But who's inside of this car? Yeah, it's the game that is not calling Need for Speed. Wow, something not really new about it because 2001 game. What can I say? Yeah, there was a game that was made, of course, by, I don't know, Black Box, I think, or maybe EA. I really don't know about that. But yeah, it's actually a game that it's most likely a monster racing games, which says online. So I really don't know what that means. It's like you can play even online, or you might be can playing even online in 2001. I even see that in even 2020 you can play this game as online. They even making collaboration back in 2005 with the City Skyline. Like, are you serious? City Skyline, the 2015 game with the Motor Sim Online with the 2001 game? I don't know, man. It just make me really confusing. Yeah, back again with the payback. It's not an Easter egg, maybe. I don't know why putting the aliens in this game, but there are so many thumbnails. Even that one, that it's really kind of creepy. That they're making some kind of like Easter egg to getting more viewers. And yeah, there was an alien, there was a UFO right there in the middle of the map. It didn't happen nothing. You can stay all the time with here. They just like actually have a green light when you stay on the night, and that's it. It's nothing new. Do you know why Rogue driving with the Pontiac GTO? Because of course, he lost the car. He lost the Ford Mustang. Probably Razer cheating again with the Rogue's engine. And then here we go. Exactly the same livery does he have. We probably never know that because I didn't find nothing in here. If you know, just let me in the comments if you want. But of course, the Razor Mustang Origins is of course the Ford Mustang, the Rogue Mustang. That of course he's changing the livery as a really badass car with the flames and of course his logo. And I swear to God, I really want to making that too. And of course, that's the story of the Rogue in the Blacklist 16, and of course with the Razor instead. In NFS Carbon, there was actually a file that was not using, or maybe it was, that some cars was using the sound engine with the Honda bike, a Honda CBR 600 F4. I quite been confusing that I never seen a Honda car in the Carbon game. We can see only a bike by the Honda, which I'm quite confusing. This one is really interesting. Need for Speed Run was really one of the finest games that Black Box was gonna make. And a really big exciting game that most of the people was waiting for it for a long time. Need for Speed made collaborations with Adidas back in 2010. When the game was actually released, they was decided to releasing even a limited edition, which is of course you can see a PlayStation 3, the Run edition, the game limited edition, the super rare and really hard to finding Adidas shoes, the Run edition, a hoodie by Adidas, a t-shirt by Adidas, and a lot of t-shirt that you might be being lucky if you want to buying on the eBay, a special edition Adidas original EA Sports Need for Speed Run Superstar 2XL. Which of course you pay only $35, but the shipping is $39. So good luck, buy it and enjoy it. And about the shoes, well, I'm sorry my friend, the only thing you can find on the shoes is not gonna find on the website or someone making a second hand on it, because the shoes was released only 10 customers to buy the new Need for Speed limited edition Top X shoes at Chicago. We all know that Toyota Supra is one of the really powerful cars. He beats a Bugatti, he beats a Lamborghini, he beats even the Tesla. But the only thing which is really disappointing by the Need for Speed is that Toyota Supra will not be and will never be a legal street car for a game like Need for Speed. Because Japanese government didn't like that cars being a legal street racing as the Need for Speed. Also, the last game that Toyota Supra was added was in Need for Speed 2015. Which of course even this game was actually really good when the Supra was up as to playing in the Need for Speed game. But unfortunately this is the last one. Back in 2019, when the Need for Speed Heat was closely to release it, most of the people thinking about, did Need for Speed gonna add a Toyota Supra? Can I drift with the Hachiroku in Heat? Well, of course Toyota say no. Then the Need for Speed responding with, nerds. They're making a tweet about last night. And yes, they added event from Toyota in Forza Horizon 4, which of course the update of the Toyota was not really big excited as usual how the car was really made and how engine or how terrible engine is. They even added in the Project Cars 3, which is of course you can see even the new Toyota Supra, and of course Need for Speed added again, Sims. Let's get jumping to it. We can find other Radio's music that it's not being in the original game in the demo. So let me show you. There is a one music by Dynamite MC Bounce, but only instrumental in the demo of Need for Speed Carbon. There is a one demo soundtrack called Demo Canyon Music. And another one by Demon Canyon Music, When the Canyon Race Ends. When there is a only online racing game, not only just they already did another one, but most likely the game was not really big successful as we thought. Okay, I'm kidding, they make successfully, but of course EA and Need for Speed didn't making much more effort to being the game alive. Of course they was thinking to making so much more areas and cities before they saying the server will be shut down. Luckily we have some Russians that they helping us playing Need for Speed World again, but that's the science of the point. Let's see what secret areas or maybe cities they was making if the game was still alive. There was a one with the Rockport Turnpike Beyond. Other connector road at Rockport. at downtown Palmont. Connector Road at Campton. When you want to starting the race as a Blacklist 6 Ming with a Lamborghini Gallardo, you can see the intro that Mings actually destroyed the pursuit breaker not just for the police, even for the drivers. There's another conspiracy that the game was actually talking really randomly dialogue with the police, with other police station, that he said something about a terrorist. When the Carbon was released, even for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, multiplayer from Need for Speed Carbon was on. But then, when the game was not playable anymore, the server shut down immediately. Most of the people said that they are really so lucky that they buying the game and they logging in, because even for now they still can playing the game, even the servers are shut down, but they making a little bit tricky to making the multiplayer working. But most of the people who getting by the crack of the game from internet, it's really impossible to making this. The only thing you have to do is like to talk in an experienced person who have some accounts with a password by EA Nation. Back in the day, Need for Speed Carbon was actually can logging to play multiplayer only two methods. First plan was to go into the EA Nation to register it and then to logging in the Carbon. And of course confirm at the eanation.com. But right now it's really impossible to doing that again, and you can never fix that or finding out how can you log it. The only thing you can log it is just like you need to have to get some tricky or someone to helping you to give you an account by EA Nations to playing the game. Most likely there is some people that they selling the accounts to playing in the Carbon, which is really expensive. But for my opinion, you might be not gonna trying this. I'm pretty sure you can finding other solutions for this. Oh yes, if you even try right now to log in, you can actually log in by the Need for Speed Carbon, but the problem is they really forcing you to put a CD key to let you go to playing online, which is never happened because they making that trick to putting a CD key just because that you can't doing anymore because they shut down, and that's why they trolling you. Can't believe it why I actually explained such a really popular Easter egg, because you're going with a haunted barn and you see some quite like a really annoying echo or might be a little bit scared. Yeah, nothing really important, but most likely back fanfare discovering how to actually happens to being that really creepy echo because of the traffic cars. So nothing to explain this, but yeah, I can't believe it. I put it in the Iceberg. It was really fun, but yeah.
Again, I keep pressing circle instead, and the noise is back. You can hear it again, right? It's not just in the night. It's back. I'm gonna tell you what I think that noise is. So what we're gonna do turn the car on, do a little bit of a reverse, still stay in the area, turn it off, and see if you can figure out yourself what the noise is. Okay, I'm going to spoil it for you. It's the cars passing. It's the vehicles passing by that are making that weird noise. This is just us. Wait, that is being weird in the day. Why did he do that? Why did I miss him doing that? It's just so bizarre. Come on. Yes, yes. You. Why are you being... What are they just forgotten their route? I think they're too far off the screen, so they just forget their route. And then they remember again. What on earth are you doing? That is really freaky. I mean, that was what he was... It's not really the same, is it? Oh, wait. That noise is the same.
Yeah, in the intro, it's probably most likely a lot of death scenes, which is one you hit by the truck, and one that it's just like, I don't know. The thing is that you driving with a woman body, which quite explains a lot why the game is like only for 3 years old plus. But yeah, the fact that we're talking about some death and something deep, they might be dead because of this. But it's only a conclusion, and it might be kind of like a nightmare to you, or just an illusion, or maybe just, let's just say, a dream about it. You remember about the race canyon? What a big surprise, because we have a lot of viewers of this gameplay, and of course a lot of likes, which is thank you for more supporting about this gameplay. Yeah, the game was really quite like viral for Need for Speed community, because Race Canyon was actually made by Unity, and it was really weird since like the game was actually added in the Google Play, which is really weird because he actually removed it even for the Most Wanted, that I even don't want to make another video to Most Wanted game. And of course there is a big problem about that. The game was made by a Russian person. I really don't know who that is, but I remember that the Russian government actually really stopped him to making, because it was actually really illegal to putting a clone of the Need for Speed and putting on the magazine play for winning a lot of money. Even they making a lot of people to reporting and a lot of review. But yeah, what does that mean, Russia government? Well, let's just say I don't know. Most of the people said that the guy was actually in the jail or maybe arrested because of the Krypton and the Bitcoin thing. And of course he was know your ID and where actually you're living. I think it's just an illusion or something, or it's not really real. But let's be honest, I hear with the friends of the Need for Speed community, but most of the people was shocking about that. And yeah, I'm making this. It's quite like an Iceberg even for the Kevin of MST, because it's really kind of deep. So yeah. We finally being in this iceberg, in this very deep thing, because we can finally figure out who that player is. Most likely, who is actually Ryan Cooper. Just look at this video.
You're good.
Yeah, good enough to beat the king.
Nobody beats the king.
What about that guy? Ryan, I think.
That was years ago. Nobody's done it since.
Then let me have a shot, Your Highness.
Soon. First, we hit the observatory.
I think that Aki Kimura was really know what just happened with the Ryan Cooper, and most likely they saying that the Ryan Cooper is not here anymore and he's not gonna do driving anymore, because back to the undercover, which of course the player most likely, and the script and storyboard of the game on the undercover was actually not a racer, it was actually a policeman, or let's just say a bounty hunter like Cross. But we can hear something, a really random dialogue, when a police finding that there is a person who using a helmet and he don't kind of spin. Just take a look at this.
Dispatch, I I got a guy resisting arrest here. He's in the back seat of my cruiser. He's not talking, and he refuses to take off his racing helmet. Got his ID here. Surname Cooper, first name Ryan. You run a check for priors. I don't know, something not right about this guy.
Roger that.
So let's just imagine that the Ryan Cooper was actually even the player of the Most Wanted, player of the Carbon, and the difference is really big. Seems like even the cutscenes, it's looking like he have a jacket and he looks like some kind of like an agent or maybe a Matrix outfit or some shit. In the Carbon we can see even the eyes when he driving with a BMW M3 GTR. Even for the busted scene, we can see him the face, which is not really big different, but in the Most Wanted it is a lot of big different. When he beat the Darius and he lived with the, I think, Aston Martin, I don't know, most of the people are making a gameplay about it, we can finally see that the player has a name called Ryan Cooper. Ryan Cooper is beating the Rhea Watanabe and the other kings, being the king. And of course in the underground we heard him that he got arrested for nothing or really reasons, which is, yeah, really bad for him, because this is the life story of the Ryan Cooper. I know most of the people maybe know, or most of the people didn't care about this, but this is actually the story of the Ryan Cooper, aka the player, which is, of course, I don't really know who that in the undercover player is, but of course it's not a Ryan Cooper, just a policeman that we never know about that. Maybe Ryan Cooper was even the player of the Underground, or maybe Underground 2, or maybe was a player of the beginning of the Need for Speed. We probably don't know, because of course every single Need for Speed have other different stories, including Most Wanted in the Carbon, which was really the best when we hear that Carbon was actually a continuous story of the Most Wanted, but a little bit different. Yeah, and this is the reason why the Most Wanted in the Carbon, it's really one of the popular games of all. Yeah, I kind of want that even the Proceed to be popular, but no, and I know why. Okay, I will explain what happened to Alexander Mihayan. He was working and he was a programmer only for 2 games, which one of them is like Need for Speed 2015 and of course Battlefield Hardline, if I remember. But most importantly, he passed away because of the Romanian club that it was the biggest explosion of all the history of the Romanian. Somewhere in Bucharest there was a club back in 2015, some kind of like a rock brand that they passed away too. They passed away so many people in that club. It was inside of the club, and let's just say that it was actually a fireworks working and opening the fireworks inside of the club, and that thing is really not good to have a firework inside, whatever way you are, inside of the house and of the everything. Well, they're using fireworks on the club, and the fire was such a big that they're making a big explosion, and they passed away, and the location was not safe at all, and there was cost a lot of people, some teenagers, and of course some adults, and so many people back in 2015. I don't want to explain more, but this is the reason that Need for Speed 2015 made discredit, and I'm really so sad about this. I really don't want, or I wasn't want making this Iceberg, but it's something really quite memorable, just to know that they making a hard working, that even a guy who working in this game passed away. So yeah, rest in peace, and I hope the family are okay even for now. Okay, so this one, it's really quite a little bit scary, because most of the people didn't know this, but actually Need for Speed Underground, they're making an official commercial back when it was supposed to be released, and quite frankly, it's a short one, like a 1 minute, and it's quite like scary. Depends that it was actually some kind of like Halloween commercial. I don't know if it was more early or more late, or maybe it was only for this game, but this one was really creepy, and most of the people was like really scared when they see this commercial. But then when he appears Need for Speed Underground, he was like, oh, it's just actually a commercial. But yeah, that's it. I thought it's going to be for like kind of like I don't know, car tuning are so dangerous, and they telling us that we should not supposed to drive fast and drive safely. I don't know, it's just really confusing because this commercial is such a really scary, but quite funny actually. So yeah.